there, my grade 5 science learners. I'm Teacher Love, and welcome to DepEd TV, where science makes sense. Have you ever wondered that when you bite into an apple and leave it exposed to the air and it turns brown? Well, wonder no more. Do you know that oxygen forms a stable chemical bonds with almost all elements to give corresponding oxide? Oxygen is a very reactive gas. It can combine with many materials to form oxides that can cause changes in matter. Changes in matter may happen when oxygen is removed or added to it. In today's episode, we will learn about changes in matter in the presence or absence of oxygen. Oh, would you like some apple? Here! Did you know that apples are full of carbohydrates which are essential to provide children with the energy they need to stay active every day? Apples are rich in vitamin C, fiber, and phytochemicals. What happened to the apple? Have you noticed the inner fleshy part of the apple? Did it change? A while ago, the inner part of the apple was clear. Now, it changes into what color? When we slice an apple, after a while, it turns brown. How does this happen? The changes in the color of the inner fleshy part of the apple is due to its exposure to oxygen. When the apple is cut, molecules of the oxygen in the air can react with the different enzymes present inside an apple cell. This process is called oxidation. Oxidation is the process of any chemical reaction that involves the moving of electrons. Just like how the enzymes from the apple reacts when exposed to oxygen. The same phenomena could also be observed to banana, potato, and eggplant. Well, as what they say, the best way to learn science can be found in your kitchen. What time is it? It's Science Lab time! For the given activities, observe and study the situations, then answer the follow-up questions. Activity 1 is called Fire Out. Have you seen a fire or flame? If not, let's observe this. Warning! Please ask your parents or guardian for assistance. Can you tell me how does the fire start? Fire is a result of a chemical reaction called combustion. It occurs when oxygen combines with another substance as fuel and produces fire with heat and light. Combustion is also known as burning. It is always exothermic, a reaction or a process accompanied by the release of heat. In combustion, oxygen, fuel, and heat are always present. For example, when you lit a candle, its wick burns if oxygen and wax is present. Will the fire continue its flame in the absence of oxygen? Make a guess. Is it a yes or no? Let's find out. We will cover this lighted candle with a glass. Take a look. The substance that reacts with the candle wax is oxygen. It comes from the air. Placing a glass over the candle keeps oxygen from getting in. So when the oxygen is used up, the reaction cannot keep going. Running out of oxygen makes the flame go out. Again, the flame will go out due to the absence of oxygen. Amazing, right? Based on the activity, what are the three important things needed for combustion to occur? Oxygen, fuel, and heat are needed. Again, the three important things needed for combustion to occur are oxygen, fuel, and heat. Combustion is another change in materials when oxygen is present. Let's continue. Activity 2 is called fish kill. A fish pond owner reported that there had been a fish kill in the pond. The Bureau of Fisheries investigated the incident, only to find out that the fish pond was overly populated. What could be the cause of the fish kill? The most common cause is due to decrease or lack of oxygen to breathe in the small or narrow area of the fish pond. That is why it's important to have an aeration device or a bubbler. What is needed in the overpopulated pond? An overpopulated pond should have a good supply of oxygen. The fish needs more oxygen than the pond is producing. And that eventually will lead to some of the fish to die. Fish kill is an example of a change in material which happens due to the absence or lack of oxygen. Activity 3 is called rusting. Observe the rusted iron nails. What do you think causes the formation of rust? Rust is an iron oxide, a usually reddish-brown oxide formed by the reaction of iron and oxygen in the presence of water or air moisture. Rusting is caused by the reaction of iron with oxygen present in the air. The amount of rust formed in an iron depends on the moisture and humidity of the surroundings. What shall we do with the iron nails to minimize or prevent it from rusting? That's right! Avoid exposure to moisture or coat it with oil or anti-liquid to keep it dry. What are the two factors that influence the formation of rust in the iron nails? The two factors that influence the formation of rust in the iron nails are the oxygen and the water. Rusting happens due to the presence of oxygen. These undesirable changes given undergo chemical change. What have you learned from our discussion? I want to find out if you learned something new today. Complete the paragraph below by supplying the statements with the missing word or phrase. Choose your answer inside the box. Take note, children. The answers for number 2 and 3 may not be in correct order, as well as the answers for number 4, 5, and 6. I'll give you 3 minutes to answer them. Timer starts now. Burning, oxygen, fuel, rust, heat, combustion, fire, or flame. The presence or absence of blank has various effects on matter. Common examples are blank and blank. Fire will continue its flame provided that there is continuous supply of blank, blank, and blank. In the absence of oxygen, there will be no blank that will occur. An example of change in the material when oxygen is present is rusting. Blank is formed when iron and oxygen react with water or air moisture. Time's up! Are you done? Let's see if your answers are correct. The presence or absence of oxygen has various effects on matter. Common examples are combustion and burning. Fire will continue its flame provided that there is a continuous supply of fuel, heat, and oxygen. In the absence of oxygen, there will be no fire or flame that will occur. An example of change in the material when oxygen is present is rusting. Rust is formed when iron and oxygen react with water or air moisture. Did you find it easy? I'm sure you did. Is rusting a problem in your home? What should one do to prevent rusting from happening? Here are ways to prevent rusting. Number 1, keep it clean and dry. Water is the #1 enemy of rust. Number 2, prevent scratches or cracks in the metal. It exposes the metal and holds water, allowing it to remain in contact with iron. Number 3, apply a protective coating such as metal conditioner or, if necessary, a new coat of paint. Number 4, do regular maintenance. Because rust spreads quickly, it's important to scrape it off as soon as it appears. And number 5, store properly. Store metal parts or products in a low moisture area to significantly slow down the rust. Now, you have an idea on how to prevent rusting. Hope this will help you too. And now, let's do a recap. We learned something about a process called oxidation. Oxidation is the process of any chemical reaction that involves the moving of electrons. Examples are rusting of iron and fruits that turn brown when sliced or cut. This happens because of the presence and lack of oxygen. For your final assessment, choose and write the letter of the correct answer in your answer sheet. I will give you 5 minutes to answer the question. Timer starts now. Number 1. The presence or absence of oxygen in the materials may result in the blank. A. Burning of the materials. B. Melting of the materials. C. Change in the materials. Or D. Materials remains the same. Number 2. Iron, nails, cans, and other metals with iron when exposed to moisture may develop. A. Dust. B. Rust. C. Heat. Or D. Fuel. Number 3. The inner part of the potatoes and apples change in color because of the blank. A. Fuel in it. B. Chemicals in it. C. Exposure to heat. Or D. Exposure to oxygen. Number 4. The Bureau of Fisheries investigated that fish kill incident was due to A. Lack of oxygen supply. B. Hot summer temperature. C. Use of illegal fishing methods. Or D. Lack of carbon dioxide supply. Number 5. We can prevent rusting of materials made of iron at home by A. Washing the materials after using. B. Exposing materials anywhere after use. C. Arranging the material before storing. Or D. Wiping the material with a clean, dry cloth after use. I hope you finished answering them. Let's check your answers. Number 1. The correct answer is letter C, change in the materials. Very good. Number 2. The correct answer is letter B, rust. Number 3. The correct answer is letter D, exposure to oxygen. Number 4. The correct answer is letter A, lack of oxygen supply. Great job! And number 5. The correct answer is letter D, wiping the material with a clean, dry cloth after use. I know you got it! Excellent! Did you get the perfect score? Fantastic! Oxygen plays a critical role in our daily lives. Changes in matter may happen when oxygen is removed or added to it. Thank you, my science learners. It's a great pleasure to be with you. That's the end of our lesson for today. This has been your Grade 5 Science teacher, Teacher Love, reminding you that in life, science makes sense.